So by the time you're watching this, we will have crossed the 3rd year anniversary of the January 6th attack on our nation's capital. And it just so happens to be an election year. Our president came out delivering a speech to get us all in our feels at the beginning of this new year.
Warning, the clip you are about to see is meant to induce fear, paranoia, and personal wishes of death and destruction upon all quote-unquote MAGA Republicans, which just means anyone who may not vote for Joe Biden this year.
Today we gather in a new year, some 246 years later, just one day before January 6th. A date forever shared in our memory because it was on that day that we nearly lost America. Today we're here to answer the most important of questions. Is democracy still America's sacred cause? I mean it.
Wait. Did he just say that America's sacred cause is democracy?
Bruh. Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell.
He did. So having finished reading our best examples of the Declaration, the United States Constitution, and the Federalist Papers number 10, and consuming the contents, I can confidently conclude that democracy is not America's sacred cause. The first two, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, do not contain a single letter, sentence, word about democracy. There's no reference to it at all. Now there's some underlying principles, but not the word democracy, and not the full illustration of a pure democracy. The Federalist 10 does make reference to democracy and talks about it. But here's a warning that it gives as you read through it. From this view of the subject, it may be concluded that a pure democracy, by which I mean a society consisting of a small number of citizens who assemble and administer the government in person, can admit of no cure for the mischiefs of faction. Hence it is such that democracies have ever been spectacles of turbulence and contention, having ever been found incompatible with personal security or the rights of property, and have in general been as short in their lives as they have been violent in their deaths. So why did I make this video? Because several years ago, if I heard the president say to me that democracy is our nation's sacred cause, and that with this upcoming election, it was at stake, I would have felt a certain way. But knowing now what I know, having read what I have read, having looked at the Constitution, having looked at the Declaration, although not being a scholar in these things, I've read them myself. And what's very clear is that we are not a democracy. It's very important this year, being an election year, with all the money, the strategy, the lobbyists, the propaganda on either side and middle of the aisle, that you take a responsibility for what you hear, especially as it relates to things of this nation's identity, her culture, her history, and her outcome. You have a responsibility to get really familiar with your nation this year. That is why we made this video, to encourage you to do that. Our nation's sacred cause is democracy, and it's not. It's a lot bigger than business.